Welcome to my studio. This is an absolute beginner lesson for ages 12 and up, and you're never too old to learn piano, and in fact, piano playing can help improve your brain, your body, and give you many hours of enjoyment. This is the book I recommend for older beginners, ages 12 and up. The Accelerated Piano Adventures by Nancy and Randall Faber. And you can check below. I will set a link. And you want to make sure you get the lesson book, book 1. So, we are going to skip to page 5. You don't really need to look at anything before that. This details how to sit at the piano. Sit straight and tall on the front half of the bench. So the correct position for your arm and elbow would be slightly bent. Bench, you can buy adjustable benches, or you can use cushions if you're short. If you're very tall, you might want to look for a lower chair to sit at. So just check your posture. So we're going to go on to page 6. And here we talk about finger numbers. Notice that both thumbs are numbered finger 1 and finger 2. Index fingers are both 2, 3, 4, 5. So they want to get that. They're opposite from each other as far as numbering goes, but oftentimes you are actually going to play 5 and 1 at the same time if you're doing something at the keyboard like that. So, hand position, this is pretty important. You want to let your arms hang loosely, and you want a natural curve in your hand. So it's sort of like you're holding a ball, like that. And one of the reasons for this is you want to bring your fingers in alignment with each other. If you're like this, then your thumb is going to be hanging out below the keyboard, and you can see these fingers are far from the same length. But if you go like this, and you hold your hands at this kind of position, then that brings everything into alignment. The thumb, you're going to play on the side tip. This next little exercise called wind chimes for right hand, and then there's a wind chimes for left hand. They talk about holding the damper pedal down. So this is a damper pedal. If you have an acoustic piano or some electronics, you'll see 3 pedals, and you want the one on the right. And I like this one. This cost a little extra. This is the one that comes with the keyboard. But I find it a little too lightweight and it moves around, and so I paid another extra $30 or so to get this one. And the effect of this is you push it down, and as you play your keys, you get a sustained tone. So it's sometimes called the sustain pedal. So I put my foot on the damper pedal, and I am playing the group of 2 here. Then I go up and I play this 2 group, and that 2 group up there, etc. And do the same going down here with the left hand. So that's what wind chimes would sound like. But I wouldn't worry about that too much. This purpose of this page 7 is just to get you oriented. So now I'm going to turn to page 8 in our book here, and you'll see at the top of the page we have the music alphabet, which goes A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and then it stops, and then you start over. So if I were to start at the beginning of the keyboard, the first note is A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Then I start over with A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, etc. So that's what that's about. And as you can see, as I already mentioned, wherever you have a 2 group, you're going to have C on the left-hand side of the 2 group. D is the note between the 2 black notes, and then E is to the right of the 2 black notes. So this next exercise, I wouldn't worry about the fingering on this, but just play all the C's, and then play all the D's, and play all the E's, etc. And be sure to get used to using your left hand if you can. This is an important little note down at the bottom here. It says that this is called the interval of a third. So between C and E, if I were to play those 2 notes together, so I've got C, E, that is called the interval of a third. And we'll mention that again, so we'll review everything again. So now we're on page 9, and at the top of that page, you'll see a picture of the 3 group of black notes with the letters that correspond to those white notes. So the black notes are helping you find which white notes you're going to. So your first white note to the left of the 3 group is F, then G, A, and B is to the right of the 3 group. And so what you can do next is you can play the thirds starting on F. So starting on this 3 group, we have F, G, A, B are the names of the notes. And so number 4, I wouldn't worry about the number 3 is just finding all those different notes. Number 4, if you play F and A together, and remember to keep your hand curved, it'll go like this. And then with the left hand. And so that's just an exercise in finding the names of the white notes. So, on to the next page, page 10. And you'll see they are talking about rhythm. Rhythm has to do with how long you hold different notes, and also to make sure you keep a steady beat. So by a steady beat, we just mean you're just keeping the beat steady as you go along. So this little rhythm flag here has an example of a whole note, a half note, and a quarter note. And the way that note is designed, of course, we're not looking at which note yet. We don't know which notes these are. This is just has to do with how long we hold the note. So I can do middle C, or it doesn't matter which note, and I'm going to start at the top of the rhythm flag and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 1. And I'll do that one more time. Just pick any note, it doesn't matter. So starting at the top, and this would be my beat, 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 1. And I could take that faster. I could go 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 1. But of course, you don't have to do that yet. That's just to illustrate. Okay, so then we're going to go on to the next page here. This is page 11. And we're talking about measures and bar lines. And if you don't get all this at the beginning, don't worry, it'll become clear as you go along. There's so much that you learn in the beginning with music because there's several different dimensions of music. So, but you'll get it after a while. Everything repeats. A measure has to do with a little section of your music. So what I do with the younger kids is I kind of draw a box around this measure between these two bar lines. That's a bar line, bar line, bar line, and down here, these are bar lines here also. So think of this as being in one box, and then these three notes as being in the second box, but each one gets 4 counts, as you'll see what happens. So if I start here, I'll just pick a note. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And don't worry about counting or anything yet. It'll become clear, but eventually you want to get in the habit of counting. But in the beginning, you can learn it by ear pretty much. This rhythm and blues is, they're going to be using, as you can see, the third from C to E, and then the third from F to A. And just to review this rhythm here, I'll tap with my pencil as we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And this double bar at the end tells you you're at the end of the piece. So that's the rhythm. So just make sure you know how to do the rhythm, and then we'll worry later about the notes. So let's think about the notes here. If I have C and E, so C and E is going to be here. So it's going to sound like 1, 2, 1, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 1. 1, 2, 3. And then I move up. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. And then I move back down. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's what this piece sounds like. If you'll see what happens, you start on C and E, and you just keep on with that. But when you get to the beginning of this line, you see I put a big circle around those notes, and I wrote move up. So you're going to be moving up, moving from C and E up to here, to F and A. So that bottom line would be moving up to here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I move back down to C and E. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. What I often do with students is I draw a little pair of eyes over here. And the eyes are looking ahead down to this measure here. Because the tricky part of this is when you get to the end of this line, then you have to move your hand position all of a sudden. So that makes it a little tricky. So make sure as you're going through here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Now get ready to move up. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Then get ready to move down. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's how to play that song. And what I want to do now is I want to play the teacher's part down here. So if you feel you're ready, if you need to review anything in the book, check out, make sure you can find these 2 positions. We'll start here. I'm going to say 1, 2, ready, go in the correct tempo. And then I'm going to be playing this. So don't listen too much to this, but just focus on your part. After I say 1, 2, ready, go, you're going to start here. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, ready, go. Okay, how did that work? I hope you were able to do it at the same timing and that sounded good. And we'll see what happens. If you need to, of course, stop the tape, roll it again. And we're going to do one more page in this book. And if you get this far, you're doing really pretty good. Okay, so at the top of this page, they have the word seconds. As I mentioned before, we played a third when we did C and E. And now we're going to play seconds, which is C to D. Of course, normally we don't play those two together, but sometimes we do. That's more of a dissonance. They call this a dissonance, and they call that a consonance. It sounds a little better. But anyway, we're just talking about moving stepwise. So this right hand here, you're just starting on the note C, and you're going up with fingers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, etc. So I'm going to go ahead and play this. We're going to play one note right after another. So starting with the right hand here, 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that's how that goes. And I can do it again. This time you can watch the music. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, actually, what I did there, I played that entire piece with my right hand. And you can see, actually, they want you to go here and play it with your left hand. But you can do it either way. You can play the whole thing with right hand, and then you can switch and do the next part with the left hand. So I'm starting on G. So right there would be like this. Okay, so I just came to here. This little sign, you see the double bar, which means you're at the end of the piece, and then 2 dots. The 2 dots means repeat. So it means you go back and you play the whole thing again. This is kind of an exercise. It's not the most interesting song in the world, but if you can play this in your first couple of lessons, you're doing fine. Remember your good hand position, remember your posture, and sit up straight and shoulders relaxed, and you're doing great if you've gotten this far. And we'll do another lesson starting on the next page next time. Thanks a lot. Thanks for watching. If you like these videos, please like and subscribe, and check out my Patreon page listed below to sign up for lessons or other benefits and to support this work. Thanks.